Okay, my friends, let's now do this tab challenge together. I'm going to use my own instructions here on the right. So we are doing the same thing. So give the surrounding section X data, and we have this property tab which has a default of 1. That's the first thing. And then the second will be remove the display none from tab 2 content and tab 3 content. All right. Let's go here. And here in this section, I will insert an X data here. X data. And we have, like always, an object. And there we have this property with the name of tab. And this property gets a default value of 1. Done. Now we go to tab 2 content here. And here on the right you have display none. I'm going to remove this. And the same thing down here in tab 3 content. So now if we look on the front end, we see all the 3 tab contents. All right. Now, step number 3. Make all 3 tab contents dependent on the key tab by using xShow. And I already gave you an example. xShow equals tab equals 2. That would be the condition for tab 2. I'm lazy and I'm gonna just copy this here. And let's go back to the source code. And I will insert this with all 3 tab contents. So I go to tab 1 content. I'm gonna insert this here. So we want to show tab 1 content if the variable or the property tab equals 1. Okay. That's the first one. Now let's go here to tab 2 content. Let's insert this and we leave it at the number 2. And then here tab 3 content. And we say this one should show if the tab object or property is 3. Let's check the front end. Now again, only tab 1 is visible. But if we change, for example, the tab to, let's say, 2, let's save. Now the content of tab 2 is visible. Okay, so this works. Now we have to give each of those tabs here, the spans, a click event. Okay, so when we click on it, then we change the property tab. Again, I'm gonna copy this. Let's copy it. Let's go back to the source code. First thing I'm gonna do, I change back the default tab to 1. All right. And now I go to the spans here, which are actually the tabs that we click on. So I go to the first one, blank, and I insert what I just copied. If I click on the span, the variable or the property will change to 1. Let's do the same thing in the other spans here. Tab is 2. And if I click on the third tab, then tab will be 3. All right. Let's try that out. Let's go to our front end. Now I have a default of tab 1 again. So if I click on tab 2, we have the content of tab 2. If I go on tab 3, we have the content of tab 3. Now the only thing that is missing is to change the styles in the tabs according to which tab is active. Okay, here it says you need 3 more properties in your object, which will be those ones here. For example, you can call them as you like, but I'm gonna use this property names here. Actually, I just gonna copy this and I go to my source code and I go here in my X data and I will place a comma here first and I press enter. All right, and then I'm gonna paste this in. So we have the first property, tab classes here, let's say. And I will set this to a default of an empty string. Then we have tab normal colors, which I will set to an empty string. And then we have this tab high color. And I also set this to an empty string. Okay, let's go back to the instructions. Here, extract the tab base classes into the property tab classes. Don't forget a space at the end. So let's have a look here. What are the base classes for our tabs? Well, actually it's everything. It starts here with px5, that's the padding, then the rounded class, and then cursor pointer we always need. It's always the same, you can see that here, okay? Only here the BG gray and so on, this is different stuff. So I'm gonna copy this stuff here and put it in tab classes here. And I already have a space in the end here, which we'll need for the concatenation later. Let's go back to the instructions. Extract the normal tab color classes together with the hover class into the property tab normal colors. All right. So the normal, that means the non-active classes, are those here. It's the light gray and also the hover. So I'm gonna copy this and put it in here. All right. Now what we need is the tab highlight color. And that's simply this BG gray 400. I'm gonna extract that too. All right. Let's save. Let's go back to the instructions. So number 4 we already did. That was the tab highlight color. And now we continue with number 5. After extracting, remove all remaining classes from the tabs and bind the class attributes of the 3 tabs with a colon. All right. So what I'm gonna do is that I remove all those classes here now. I remove this one and I put a colon here in front of the class to bind it. And I do the same thing with the second tab and the same thing with the third tab here. Okay. So if we look in the front end now, the tabs should be unstyled. Let's check that. Yeah, you see the tabs don't have any styling anymore. Okay, but we will change this now. Now we go to number 6. Concatenate in the class attributes of the normal tabs the tab classes, so that's the standard classes, with either tab normal colors or with tab high color. And I already prepared the according ternary expression for you down here. So I'm just gonna copy this. So I copy this. Okay. And then I go back to the source code. Let's see exactly what I copied. Yeah, it starts with the class and it ends with the double quotes. So I'm gonna mark this first class here, with it, including the double quotes, and I hit Command V to insert. Remove one more colon here. And now it says, if the tab is 1, then show the tab classes, so the base classes, plus the tab highlight color, which is the dark gray. Otherwise, here, show the base classes plus the normal colors. Alright, that looks good to me. I'm gonna copy this again, the complete thing. And I go here to tab 2, insert it, and just replace the 1 with a 2 here. And then the same thing down here. And I say tab 3. Okay. Let's save and see what we get in the front end. Now, as we can see already, tab 2 is dark again and the other ones are normal and they have the hover effect. And here only tab 1 is visible. So let's click on tab 2. Now we have the content of tab 2 and tab 3, the same thing. So our example is finished now. Everything is working as it should. Okay guys, that was the first example. Let's move on to the next example now, where we will do a simple calculator. It will be a little bit shorter example than this one. Okay, see you there.